run through now is an active knee to chest series. Basically, the focus of this exercise is good solid stability through the spine, which is meant to be stable, and good mobility through the moving hip. The first part of this exercise is for Kyle to activate his glutes on this side, to keep this leg solid, keep his midsection tight, keep this toe straight up, keep that toe straight up. And while he's got this hip and his spine nice and solid, I'm going to ask him to bring his ankle, knee, and hip in a straight line straight towards that shoulder. So there's no deviation side to side, but straight up towards that shoulder. And then bring it right back down there. Good. When Kyle's doing this, I've got my hand on his left butt cheek because that's really what I want him to be focusing on. It's good hip extension from this side, good solid spine, while he gets good maximal hip flexion on this side. Right back down. You can't see it right there, but oftentimes people will deviate out of the sagittal plane or deviate from going straight up and down. And I'm going to have Kyle show what it would look like. Tighten up here. As they bring this hip up here, oftentimes when we get to about 90 degrees, we run out of motion in the hip. And so to get that, we'll often find it in another plane at the hip and deviate the hip that way. Or the foot might externally rotate this way or inward. Another one that we often see as you bring this leg up, go ahead and do that please. When you run out of mobility there, we'll often borrow it from the low back, and that's when the point where we see the butt kind of go quiet and the low back will start to flex. So that's why it's so important for when we do this for Kyle to keep this butt muscle nice and tight, focus on that, and then bring that ankle straight up, knee straight up, in a good solid position. Right back down. At home, you're not going to have somebody there to poke you in the butt to make sure it's working. So what you can often do is put this underneath your thigh, and then you can push your knee down into that, activating your thigh and your butt together. And with that cue, please bring your knee up again, nice and solid. Go slow through here so that your back doesn't arch, and then right back down. Good, that's level 1. Level 2, he's going to do exactly the same thing. So good activation here, bring the knee up as far as he can get it. From here, I'm going to ask him to mark his hand and kind of put a hand right there. From here, I don't want his knee and his thigh to separate when he does level 2, which is to bring his foot straight up, right back down. And then bring it down again. Good. Try that again. Good activation through here is number 1. Bring the hip as far as it'll go. And then a good active stretch of his hamstring here, right back down. Again, it's important that this doesn't go and that his back doesn't move. That's level 2. Level 3 is to now do it with a straight leg. Much tighter, much tougher for a lot of people. Activation here, keep the knee locked out on the right side, take it straight up, and then right back down. Our goal is about 90 degrees. Not a lot of us can do that right away. I wouldn't force this, but gradually work into it. And again, the focus with this is good activation of his hip on the down leg. Okay? Any problem with that, Kyle? Good. We're going to go right into what we call the frog position from here. In this position, I'll ask him to start with his knees both flexed up all the way. In this way, I want his back to be flat. If he lets his legs go down, and you can see there that his back wants to arch. So I don't want anything near there. I want good activation of his butt or his belly muscles while he's doing this. I don't want any arching of his back. So keeping it here, feet together, knees together to begin with. Keep your back engaged, your belly engaged. I'd like you to bring your feet straight apart until he gets a good active stretch of his groin. Bring it back together. Do that just a couple times. It's a good stretch. And his back and his belly is nice and solid. Next one, I'm going to have him take it apart, mark it with both hands so we know that where we're starting. We don't want his knees to come down. Now take your feet up and out, and then bring it right back down and together. Can you show what it looks like if your knees come away from your hands? So he's marked them, and as he straightens his legs out, he'll get more mobility if he let his thighs come away from his body, but we don't want that. We want it to all come from his hips. There, mark it, and stretch those real good. Okay.